It's time to get your geek on with Dave Vermillion.
Alrighty, so Solo. It's a good film.
It was.
I think we can all agree.
I had a lot of fun. I thought it was better than expected.
I think so too.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we'll get you caught up on that. But it was a box office dud. It really was. I mean, this thing. So the big question is why? Why? And I wrote this up on getyourgeekon.org/news. The reason why it was a dud is a perfect storm. There was so much that went wrong, and it all came together at the absolute worst time. For example, so what came out earlier that month was Infinity War. What came out the weekend before, literally the weekend before, was Deadpool 2.
Yes.
So that's a lot. Right there, that's two blockbuster films that came out before them. That's not good. So Solo also ended up at number 7 on the Memorial Day weekend box office list. By the way, it finished just below The Hangover Part 2. Ouch. Not good. So there was a lot of drama in there. Reports came out that Alden, the guy who played Han Solo, needed an acting coach on set, which is not good. The directors were fired, which is not good. It ran over budget to the tune of some $300 million. That's not good. Then you got a lot of SJW stuff going on, a lot of politically correct stuff going on. Lando being a pansexual, which didn't even matter in the movie. It never came up. So, whatever, but still, it was enough for people to say, you know what, I'll pass, I'll wait for Netflix, I'm good. So, then came the backlash. And that's what I want to talk to our guest here, our exclusive insider analyst over for the Star Wars Underworld. He's our guest here. This guy really knows his stuff when it comes not only to Star Wars, which is great, but the fan base. This guy has his finger on the pulse of the Star Wars fan base. I want to talk right now to Ben Hart. Ben, how are you doing, good sir?
I am doing absolutely fantastic, and thank you so much for inviting me on to talk about this.
Yeah, Ben, it's a real pleasure. I'm glad that you're here for us, but man, you've been really vocal about what's going on here, man. What is going on out there with these fans?
It is pretty crazy. I mean, obviously it's a lot of what you just said. I mean, there's a lot of problems. I think a lot of people are trying to blame it on one problem when it is kind of a variety of problems that kind of caused this. And, you have Deadpool 2 and Avengers coming out a few weeks forward. You have Lucasfilm kind of hell-bent on putting this movie in May, which was a packed month, when they could have pushed this off till later in the year, and they didn't. So, and then just all the other problems as far as like the bad PR this movie's been getting from the get-go. I mean, it's one that, let's face it, even I was, when I first heard about a Han Solo movie, going, I'm not sure about this. I really I'm the type of person that, Star Wars, I'm in, give me more. But even with a Han Solo movie, the idea of a Han Solo movie, I was like, this is a risky thing to do. I'm not sure this is the best idea. This is maybe not the type of Star Wars story that I really want to see. And I think a lot of people said that. I think there is something to say about, well, what movies do we ask for? But at the same time, obviously Lucasfilm wants to make the movies that people want to see. And this one was kind of on the fringe of that. And, all in all, when it comes down to just the quality of the movie, I agree with you guys. I think it was a great movie. I really enjoyed the heck of it. I thought Alden Ehrenreich did an amazing job. But it still doesn't, you can't ignore the fact that it did pretty terribly at the box office. And, it's a shame because it's a great movie. So I think it just goes back to kind of fans kind of going into this not being too enthused about it. Then having all these other movies that people were enthused about, that people spent all their money on. I think it was just, as you said, a perfect storm of different variables. And no, before you say, well, all the people boycotting, no, sorry, just get that out of here. People, not seeing a movie is not an action. Just get out of here with that. There's not even that many people that are actually doing that. It's just a very tiny minority of people. But just the general people, I think there is a lot of people that just haven't taken the time to actually watch this movie. And they're missing out because it's a great movie.
Now, Ben, you're clearly subtle and withdrawn when it comes to your opinions about this. So let me ask you this up front. just how broken is Star Wars?
I don't think it's broken at all. A lot of people are saying that, and it's not true. Like, it's not. Like, Solo, Lucas is going to bounce back from this. It's not as big of a deal as some people want to make it out to be. Lucasfilm made, 3 films before this that were widely successful. Whether you like them or not, Last Jedi, like, it still made tons and tons of money. It was a successful film. And I think Solo, it's the kind of the first quote-unquote dud, but I think going into this, it's going to make more money. And I think Lucas is going to learn from their mistakes here and go, okay, maybe not release films in May in such a crowded month. Maybe wait a little while. Maybe give some breathing room. Maybe not try to squeeze in all this stuff because we just had Last Jedi. And whether you loved or hated that movie, still, that's close. It's just a few months ago, and people are still talking about that movie and trying to get over that movie and trying to talk through their feelings about the movie. And then you have another Star Wars movie? Just for the general audience, that's a lot to take in, and I think it was a mistake putting it so close. They really could have, especially with the wait we now have until Episode 9, which is not this December, but next December.
Well, here's the big question, because I'm seeing this all over Facebook. It's almost like the hyenas are jumping in now, and they're like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we finally got a Star Wars movie that's not a big success. Oh, man. So now the big question is, honestly now, and I'm as big a supporter as it comes right now, but let me ask you this. Is Kathleen Kennedy's job in jeopardy?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think, as I said, I think she has a great track record. She's not, going into this, just Star Wars aside, she's one of the most accomplished and seasoned film producers in Hollywood. She's literally probably one of the most, if not the most, qualified person to lead Lucasfilm. But also coming out of this, she's produced 3 widely successful Star Wars films, and on top of that, all the tiny material, stuff like that, which also has been successful. I don't think one movie is going to make or break her job or Lucasfilm as a whole. I think she's just going to hopefully, and through talking with shareholders and whatever, and that's ultimately her bosses, is shareholders and Bob Iger and stuff like that. I think they're just going to take a step back and go, okay, we screwed up. It's not really. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy herself. I think this is a learning experience. And, yeah, Episode 9 is going to make a ton of money back. She's got nothing to worry about.
I like to equate this to the NBA playoffs. The Golden State Warriors had 3 pretty successful playoff rounds before the NBA Finals. If they lose Game 1, I don't think you fire Steve Kerr and burn Oracle Arena to the ground. Which essentially, that's what the Solo movie is. It was a Game 1 loss in the NBA Finals. But, man, everyone is just freaking right out about this film and about what it means and everything.
Yeah, and people keep comparing things to Marvel, keep comparing Star Wars to Marvel, which is a natural thing. It's the other kind of huge franchise here that we're dealing with, and it's been going for longer than Star Wars has really. In the sense of these new films are kind of the stepping off point into this new era, whereas Marvel's been at this for 10 years now, building this universe. But, let's face it, Marvel's not had 100% track record. They've produced some duds, too.
Incredible Hulk.
You have to remember that.
Incredible Hulk.
Exactly. So, let's not pretend that Marvel is perfect. If we're willing to say, okay, Marvel had some duds, but ultimately got to Infinity War and got to something really, really great, let's give Star Wars some time too. I think they've got a lot of creative juices left in them that they can pull this around and really make this great.
Well, let me ask you this one final question here, because we're rapidly running short on time. And I want to thank Ben for taking the time out here. By the way, check out the StarWarsUnderworld.com. You can find them on Facebook. They're one of the largest Star Wars Facebook groups and pages out there. Definitely want to check those guys out. Ben, I want to ask you now, here's the big question that's on everyone's mind. Mm-hmm. So now that it's all done and over with, and we've got 18 months until Episode 9 rolls around, if you have a message out there, you're one of the movers and shakers in the podcasting world out there, so your voice is loud and clear. If you have a message for the boycotters, for the anti-Disney fans, for those that are really hoping that Disney just sells it all back to George and says, we're sorry, we're so sorry. What is your message to them tonight?
I would say if you're that upset about Last Jedi or Solo or just the direction of Star Wars as a whole, and you're saying, I'm going to put my foot down and boycott, I say more power to you. And I say keep boycotting and don't watch any more Star Wars movies and just leave it to the people that are enjoying them. Because, and I do, on the line a lot, I do make fun of these people, and because their reasons for boycotting are just absolutely absurd. But also, like, but, you know, realistically, like, I support anyone. Like, if you don't like something, don't support it and just vote with your wallet or whatever. I think there's plenty of people out there that do enjoy this, a vast majority of people that do enjoy Star Wars. They're going to keep enjoying it. If not, I'm sorry. Just stop watching it. I don't want to hear you gripe about Star Wars for the next 10 years. Just stop. Just think that's not healthy for you to keep watching Star Wars movies and keep getting upset and keep going through the whole this arduous process. Maybe Star Wars isn't for you anymore. Maybe it's just gone in a different direction. That's okay. There's plenty of other stuff out there if you guys think. As you guys talk about on this show, just tons of things you can enjoy besides Star Wars.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Ben. We appreciate you taking the time. Safe travels to you, my friend out there.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So that was Ben Hart of the Star Wars Underworld, our Star Wars analyst, giving us his hot opinion. And good Lord, man, he did not hold back.